When we were young, we would come hike in the canyon. We would ride horses in the canyon.
Logan Sinigini grew up with this as his backyard, part of Antelope Canyon, which is now world famous for its orange waves and curves carved over time by floods. Even as a child, he knew his family survived a lot of sadness between these sandstone walls.
We had always kept these canyons sort of secret and to ourselves.
Before there was a city of Page, before the Glen Canyon Dam and Lake Powell, the Sinigini's ancestors were here. That is, until a shameful time in American history known as the Long Walk. Thousands of Navajo families were force-marched from their land into camps.
Almost erased our people.
In the face of that terror, Sinigini's great-great-grandfather became a kind of underground hero. He helped people avoid capture by hiding them inside Antelope Canyon. Between the Long Walk and forced assimilation at Indian boarding schools, the Navajo culture was nearly lost. After the families were allowed to return to their land, the horrors they'd endured were not discussed.
The tragic history that we have, we were taught that we shouldn't bring it up.
The younger generation is sharing the painful stories to preserve history.
A humongous Navajo. He had to use the canyon to hide some of his people.
A new documentary called Bad Indian highlights Antelope Canyon's role in the culture's survival.
And so now we've got to get this known so that we aren't forgotten.
The Siniginis also recently opened a stretch of Antelope Canyon called Cardiac Canyon, which we visited after a rare snowfall. Guides point out the hiding spots Navajo people used to escape capture, the natural bowl in the wall used to gather water, and the end of the canyon where some were sadly trapped.
You can come and you can see almost the real-life museum of how we lived and how things were.
When it comes to Antelope Canyon these days, the only complaints you hear involve crowds. The Sinigini family is taking a less commercialized approach, opening Cardiac Canyon to only 6 people total per day. The history lessons and storytelling begin in a van heading to the entrance.
We would like to share it with everyone so that they know what really happened, how we survived, and just perseverance.
They hope visitors realize Antelope Canyon is more than a global destination for tourists and photographers. It once played a life or death role in the Navajo culture's fight for survival.